As many Americans are trying to do better to create more racial justice, how do we conquer unconscious bias? What is it? I'm joined by Mui Mui Hin-McCormick. She is the Clinical Director of Adult Residential Services at Rushford with Hartford HealthCare. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
What is unconscious bias?
You know, that topic keeps on coming up, and simply put, unconscious bias, also known as implicit bias, is a prejudice that we act on without realizing it or having all of the information. So it really is a stereotype, prejudice, prejudgment that we hold for a certain type of group, whether it's positive or negative.
So how do you know if you are biased, if it's unconscious, and if you're unaware, then how do you change it?
So, you know, the first part that I think people should understand is we all have unconscious bias. Whether you want to acknowledge it or not, we do have bias. I think one of the first steps is being able to recognize that you do have it. There are certain cues that you can really look for. So when you have a certain feeling or something comes up emotionally that you may be reacting to, you can take a step back and start exploring that a little bit more.
And what would be the influencers to create this unconscious bias?
Yeah, I think it's just our world around us. You know, we learn bias from early childhood. So from school, from our parents, from our relatives, friends, it's really who we're exposed to and not exposed to. It's the, you know, professional settings that we're in, the social gatherings or recreational gatherings that we have, media. So it's everything above.
This is a big question, but as so many people are trying to, and companies are trying to make changes, how can we address unconscious bias in a way that would actually help?
So here at Rushford, we actually have a diversity, equity, inclusion committee. I would strongly encourage those employers that don't have right now to start exploring and thinking about that option. The diversity, equity, and inclusion committee at Rushford, we are now hosting Courageous Conversations, which is part of our H3W leadership behaviors that we learn. It's really about having a platform that is safe for staff to be able to share, sometimes just listen and be part of a group, sometimes being able to ask those curious versus judgmental questions, and being able to create some dialogue learning opportunities. Our colleagues over at the Institute of Living also have something similar, which is called Let's Talk Sessions, which they are creating safe spaces for staff as well.
Good to know. Great resources right here in our own community. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for the opportunity again.